Oh wait. Oh, I'm supposed to. Oh wait. I'm supposed to have like an intro from Jesse, but I'm gonna debut that tonight. I'm gonna debut. That's gonna be special debut tonight. So I'm gonna wait. I'm just all right. Special debut on the intro tonight. But sorry, I'm late. It's 5:13. I thought I made it home a little earlier, but I wanted to take a shower. I was like, should I just get in my room and start talking like real greasy, real sweaty, hair messed up, or should I like take a shower? So I took a shower anyway. Uh Really interesting practice today. Much more interesting than the first practice. Today was mostly 11 on 11s. The first practice we watched, mostly 7 on 7s, which was whack. And Trey Lance, I swear, Trey Lance looked, well, I'm going to talk about him in a second. He looked nervous in that first. He looked nervous in that first day. He really settled down today. Got to see him in 11 on 11. Still no pads. That won't come on until camp. No one-on-ones at all. So don't ask me about offensive or defensive line. I'm so sorry. That the moment of truth for them will come when the pad will be when the pad comes off, when the pads come on and they go one-on-one. Also, the practice was like lay out the visual. We're on a sideline. Should Kyle go to Tom's house? Yeah, he should. God, that guy can't throw. We're on a sideline. Here's a field. There's a field, right? 2 fields side by side. We're over here. So sometimes they practice here, great view. Other times they practice there. Before the pandemic, we could run around. Now we're limited over here. So they're over in the far field, which is fine if we were elevated, but we're not. So I got my binoculars and there's people. So, I mean, I couldn't tell you who was the starting right guard. I think it was Colton McKivitz. I mean, I know that Alex Mack, Trent Williams weren't practicing. All the vets were out, but really what I saw was the quarterbacks, who the ball went to. I think that's the most you could ask for, given how far away I was. How was the coverage? Don't know. Only time I noticed a defensive player was if he made a play. Interception, pass breakup, something like that. Sucks, but that's the way it was set up. I mean, it's not like the Niners really want us reporting very much. So I'm doing the best I can. Anything I do report is more than they would like. So let's start with Lance. Man, the defensive players love them some Grant. Man. Should we talk about him first? All right, let's talk about him first. So apparently Jimmie Ward watches the show. Big fan of the show. I didn't realize. I've covered Jimmie Ward for like 7 years. I really like Jimmie Ward. He's always been the most down-to-earth player on the team, has a big personality. He's really smart, has a lot to say, but people don't interview him that much. And when they do interview him, it's like, hey, so how come you're injured? Or how come you can't intercept more passes, buddy? It's always negative, even though he's one of the best players in the team. He's been here. He's the longest tenured player on the team. So I asked him a question today. I said, Jimmy, do you expect to be used in new and more ways now that there's a new defensive coordinator? And he goes, oh, Grant, I love your show. I don't know. He said, I watch your show. He didn't say I love my show. He said, I watch your show. And then he said, man, you're finally giving me some love. Still criticize me sometimes, but I appreciate the love. Well, Jimmy, you deserve it, man. You're a hell of a player. Took me some time to appreciate your game. I want to thank Vish Kumaran and Robert Saleh for showing me the light. You're really good at what you do. Anyway, I appreciated the shout out. I feel like it should have been a paid advertisement. Like I owe him now. You know what I mean? That's like a Gatorade commercial. Like, yeah, I watched the Cohn Zone. Thank you, Jimmie Ward. I really appreciate it. I will love that man for the rest of my life. My favorite pro athlete of all time, Steve Young. Yeah, you're cool. But no, Jimmie Ward. Love that guy. I'm glad that he's getting more spotlight. He should be mentioned in the same sentence as Tyrann Mathieu and those other top tier safeties. The only reason he doesn't is because he didn't go to LSU. He's not a self-promoter. He's a normal person. He's down to earth. And he's really waiting on people like me and, the other beat writers to say, hey, Jimmie Ward should get some national attention. So since Jimmie Ward watches my show, I'm going to be screaming it from the mountaintops. Jimmie Ward needs more recognition. He has personality. Why doesn't he have freaking endorsements? He should have endorsements. I should be his agent. We should definitely work together. Podcast? I don't know. He's still a top tier player. So I don't want to pull him away from the field just yet. But when he's done, he can sit right here. It could be me, Dante Pettis, Richard Sherman, Jimmie Ward. I'm just so excited that Jimmie Ward watches the show. Did you see how starstruck I got? I've tried to play it cool, like I'm, a vet in the game. But no, to be fair, he asked like, hey, so what was your question again? I forgot. They muted me. It wasn't like I was sitting there for 10 seconds like, oh my God, how do you speak English? I forgot how to use language. No, what they do is they let you ask your question and they mute you because they're so afraid that you're going to ask a follow-up question. Like you might, oh my God, a follow-up question. So they mute you. And then he asks, would you please keep speaking? And I'm like, okay, I'm unmuted there. So I don't want you guys to think that I was totally tongue-tied. I was just partially tongue-tied. So Jimmie Ward, I'm buying your jersey and I am voting for you into the Hall of Fame. I'm going to make sure you make it into the Hall of Fame. It's not too late. Don Burr says Detroit upset San Francisco week 1. Okay, thanks, man. All right, let's talk Trey Lance. What I saw from Trey Lance today. I thought Trey Lance was terrific today. He was 11 of 18. That's 61%. That's not great, but he was throwing to Trent Sherfield all day. Trent Sherfield and Mohamed Sanu. Mohamed Sanu played very well, but mostly Trent Sherfield. And let me tell you something about Trent Sherfield. Good special teams player. I don't know why they keep throwing the ball, but Brandon Aiyuk wasn't there. Deebo Samuel, I didn't see him practicing. They had to have someone out there. And Mohamed Sanu was the dude today. So throwing a lot to Trent Sherfield. One time Sherfield dropped it. One time he made a really nice catch. Sherfield started the – hold on. Let me give you the Sherfield experience before we get back into Lance because Sherfield's important. He's a main character in this story today. First pass of the day from Jimmy Garoppolo, play action – not deep, but play action throw 15 yards to Sherfield. I'm like, okay, getting Sherfield involved early. Then a couple of plays later, there's a throw to Sanu from Lance, and Matt Mayoka runs over to me. Was that Sherfield? It's like, no, I know. It's like Sherfield's taking over, right? No, it wasn't. And then, boom, the next pass to Sherfield intercepted. This one's from Lance, and it was in Sherfield's freaking hands. Lance threaded the needle between 3 defenders. Sherfield gets it at the sideline, and Hafeng comes over. He's like, no, I'll take that. Thank you very much. So, yeah, Trey Lance not really playing with the best players yet, but he's so much better. You can see what he's going to do in 11-on-11s. He was good in 7-on-7s today. But in 11-on-11s, you can see him move, which is cool to see. He's so much more athletic than every other quarterback on this team. And what he did today, the reason he was more accurate today, he took a little off the ball. He doesn't need to throw it as hard as he can. And I think he was nervous in his first practice. He was pressing. I don't know what. He doesn't need to throw. He doesn't need to get the whole lower leg, drop your weight, push off like you're on a mat. You don't need to do that. Today, he was just letting it rip with, a normal amount of, what am I trying to say? He didn't overstride. He didn't drop his weight. He didn't overthrow. He still has a cannon. He's still when he throws the ball, you're still like, wow, that's that. But he took a little off. He threw 90%. And that was good for him. Now, if you saw some of the videos I posted earlier of him warming up, you'll see he still misses some passes high. But today, in the competitive portions of the practice, he was on point. When he had one play, 2 plays in particular are great. But one, 11-on-11s, play action, rolling to his left, not easy, man in his face right away, which is something you see all the time in the NFL. That guy's unblocked. What does he do? Fades away. He looked like Joe Montana, just so fluid, backing up, throws the ball down the field, not a little dump off, down the field to George Kittle, who makes a nice catch over his head. That's the stuff we're going to see from Trey Lance. When I talk about the off-schedule stuff, okay, did a play-action pass, you turn your back to the defense, you're rolling out. As soon as you get your head around as a man in your face, what do? This is not how they drew it up. This is not what you were expecting. What do? No problem. It's like it's in slow motion for him. All right, I'm just going to give ground, use my cannon arm to hit George Kittle down the field. Easy, rolling left. The more I watch Trey Lance, the more he reminds me of Kyler Murray. To me, he is 6'4" Kyler Murray. I think that the throwing motion is very similar. Now, Kyler Murray is always going to have more confidence in his arm than Trey Lance because Kyler Murray was a top 10 pick in baseball. Kyler Murray played center field. Baseball players trust their arms. They have a lifetime of using it. Trey Lance still looks like he is learning to love it, learning to trust it. So it's not quite the same, but in terms of the power, the throwing motion, it's a little elongated, but it's still quick. Reminds me of Kyler Murray. Hold on. Here we go. I'm going to talk about Rosen in a second. So very impressed with Trey Lance. The throw rolling left was a beauty. And then there was an even better throw. 7-on-7s. All right, so let me tell you what happens on 7-on-7s, because this is what he struggled in last week. And they saved it till the very end. And they put it right in front of the media. They did the main practice away. Then it was 7-on-7 times right in front of the media. Guess they wanted to show us what he's been doing recently, how he's been improving. I guess they wanted to change the narrative. Hey, good for them. That's why they should open more days up and not just one day a week. Anyway, 7-on-7s, no Jimmy Garoppolo. This is just Trey Lance. He gets the first. Oh, man. He gets a lot of throws, okay? First throw from 7-on-7s. Uncorks a deep bomb down the right side to Kittle. Beats Tavon Wilson. Perfectly in stride. Are you kidding? Like, wow. That's fantastic. I've been saying, like, this guy's not ready, and he's probably not, man. But when he is ready, oh, my goodness. He's going to make this offense so much more exciting. The deep throws outside the numbers, yeah, those are going to be in the offense. Second reaction plays, scrambling, rollouts. Yeah. Most of the things he does, you're like, wow, that ball really traveled fast. Or, man, he really runs fast. He's good. He's very good. They made the right pick. I'm not saying he's ready to start week 1. He's 21, but today was a good day. He messed around and got a triple-double today. He was Ice Cube. Now, maybe he's weak the other days of the week. I wish I could see more than just a snapshot of OTAs. In 2 weeks, I'll be there for all 3 days of minicamp, and then I'll really see what he's like over, day after day after day. But today was good. Today was good. I was impressed. I mean, he was a little shaky at a certain point. I wasn't shaky in 11-on-11s. It's just guys were dropping passes. He was playing with the backups. Since 7-on-7s come out, 30-yard bomb, 40-yard bomb to Kittle, comes back, Dwelly over the middle, comes back, Jennings over the middle for 20 yards. That's a nice throw, too. The one to Jennings over the middle for 20. Dwelly was a check down, like a third read check down. But to Jennings runs a dig, and Trey Lance just freaking guns it over the middle. Just explodes out of it. It looks like a Kaepernick pass. Jennings catches it. That was nice. I mean, hits him in stride, doesn't miss it high. Now he did force one in that almost got picked by Kai Nakua. He's still learning what he can and can't get away with, but he makes multiple wow throws per practice. So I just had a great time. I wish you guys could watch him. He's a lot of fun. He is a lot of fun to watch. I'm sure he's going to be inconsistent. Maybe next week. You can't trust that arm completely. He's going to sail some. But today, taking a little bit off, he was in a groove. And him on the run, left and right, is very natural for him. Oh, yeah. You guys should be excited. Will your boy Josh Rosen make the final 53? Well, let's talk about him. You guys want to talk about Rosen? All right, let's talk Rosen. So Josh Johnson got cut. Sorry, Josh. But that means Josh Rosen's still here, baby. And that means Josh Rosen gets to play now. So here's how it goes. Jimmy got like 6 throws today. I don't know what that's about, but they didn't really feel like giving him much. It was a lot of Trey Lance, little Jimmy, and then Nate Sudfeld and Josh Rosen split the rest. Now, before we get to Rosen, Sudfeld? Really? Sudfeld? I'm sorry, Nate. You're probably a nice guy and a very smart person, but first impression of Sudfeld, he's tall. He's very tall. Otherwise, I don't know. I still feel like Rosen gives the Niners a better chance to win if they were down to their third quarterback. There's nothing Sudfeld does that makes you go, wow. Maybe I'll develop an appreciation for Sudfeld down the line. But Rosen, first throw that I've ever seen him make on the 49ers in practice. First throw. So this is 11-on-11s. He gets the last rep of 11-on-11s in the day, all right? The last one. You get one, Josh. Go ahead. He drops back, and he doesn't hold the ball like Trey Lance. He doesn't go through his progressions and check it down like Trey Lance and, play it safe because Lance can't. Rosen can't. Rosen has to make an impression like now. Drops back, just throws a dime over the middle for 15 yards to Mohamed Sanu. Hi, I'm Josh Rosen. Nice to meet you. Nice first impression, man. First throw I've ever seen him make is a 15-yard first down over the middle to Sanu. I like Rosen for this team. I think he's going to be good for both Lance and Garoppolo because Rosen isn't a checker downer. Maybe that's a problem for him, but in practice, it's quite exciting, man. And he's good in practice. He throws a beautiful ball. He has a gorgeous arm. He's really good at throwing footballs. He's not that fast, but he's really, really good at throwing footballs. So 7-on-7, he going to look good. When it's time to practice throwing deep balls, he has the best one. So, and he's aggressive is what I'm trying to say. He's trying to make an impression and go down the field, as opposed to Jimmie, who is content to throw, a shovel pass. Or Trey Lance sometimes can be a check down Charlie. Not today. Not today. You know why? Because Rosen was out there. And if you go out there and just throw a bunch of check downs, you're going to let Rosen outshine you. Now, I'm not saying Rosen outshined Lance. Lance threw 18 passes and Rosen threw 2, completed 1. But the one was really nice. Now, the second one was overthrown, but I'm going to put that on the tight end Werner because as soon as he came back, the tight end coach got in his face and was like, hey, man, you could go like this, you could go like this, you could go like that. Because he went like this, but I went like that. That's what happened, man. So when I see a coach go over to a player and be like, hey, man, you went like this, but you go like that. I'm like, hey, man, that's on that guy. Because I didn't see anyone go over to Rosen and be like, hey, man, you gotta go like this. So that's what I'm saying. That's how I judge it. It's a professional thing that I've developed over 11 years on the beat. So I think good impression. From what I've heard, he wants to be here. I think he's going to play well in the preseason. I think he's going to make the team. I think Sudfeld's going to be on the practice squad. Nothing against Sudfeld, but like, dude, you've thrown like 40 passes in the NFL, and your last appearance was scandalous. You aided and abetted a team tanking. Maybe you were trying your best, and you probably were, but the fact that you trying your best leads to a team tanking isn't good. So I'm just going to say practice squad for Suds, 53 for Rosen. I don't see why the Niners should give up on him. It's going to be so easy. Just put him in a few preseason games. If he plays well, everyone's going to be like, look what Kyle did. People are waiting to say that, hey, Kyle resurrected Josh Rosen. Waiting to say it. All it's going to take is one good performance. And now all of a sudden, the Niners have a trade chip. Why can't the Niners turn Matt Flynn? Why can't the 49ers turn Josh Rosen into Matt Flynn? Geniuses like Kyle Shanahan should always be working on a Matt Flynn project. You're creating money. You're printing money, printing trade value. Josh Rosen, top 10 pick. People give up on him. Shanahan saves his career. Boom. Now you got a pick for him. A third, a fifth. Who cares? Or you have a long-term backup to Trey Lance when Jimmy Garoppolo gets dealt. I don't know. I was very encouraged by the first impression of Josh Rosen. Maybe I just wanted to like him, though. I don't know. But no, I thought it was terrific. Let's move on. Mohamed Sanu. Okay, so Mohamed Sanu was by far the star of this practice. Trey Lance is the franchise quarterback. We got to talk about it. But Mohamed Sanu, man, this dude just wouldn't stop. He was like Michael Jordan going for 60. He was like, I don't know, man. I'm just that good. My name is Mohamed Sanu. What do you want me to say? Starts off, gets a little 10-yard completion from Lance on an out to his right. Just getting warmed up from the slot, of course. Hey, thanks, Wilbert. I appreciate you, man. I'm trying my best over here. I feel invigorated because I took a shower and I'm wearing my Adidas tracksuit, which is my favorite suit to wear. I wish I could wear it all the time. Okay, so he catches a pass from Lance to start, 10 yards. Just getting warmed up. A few plays later, 15 yards on a slant from Jimmy Garoppolo. This is 11 on 11s. A few plays later, drops a pass from Lance. Good throw, too. But then, next play, Lance hits him right over the middle. 15-yarder. That was nice. Not done, though. Oh, no. A few plays later, 3rd and 8. Slot left, runs a slant. Freaking Jimmy Garoppolo hits him in stride. Touchdown. Runs away from everyone. Ran away from Jimmie Ward. I wasn't going to say it because Jimmy's my best friend now, but he ran away from Jimmie Ward. And I'm not saying that's bad for it. Just shows that Mohamed Sanu now runs a 4.3 apparently. He's the best player in the world, apparently. Mohamed Sanu, 5. He wasn't done. 80. It was like that was a long touchdown. It was like a 60-yard touchdown. Mohamed Sanu. Yeah, that was it. That was a way to go out on a bang. So, looking good. Starting to think that he's going to be the number 3 receiver if he stays healthy. Because, I mean, I always felt like Kendrick Bourne, when he first caught on with the 49ers, the way I thought of him was, he's like Mohamed Sanu. Now, Mohamed Sanu is a lot older, but I always felt like when they brought in Kendrick Bourne, they were looking for a Mohamed Sanu type for their offense, because that was Kyle Shanahan's slot receiver in Atlanta. He used Sanu. They liked the big slot receiver. He had the big slot receiver. It was Sanu. Then it was Bourne. Now it's Sanu again? Possible. He's currently competing with Juwan Jennings, who also is playing well. They're both getting first-team reps. They're both big slot receivers. Jennings has a future. Sanu has a past and not much of a future. But Sanu is good. He's got pedigree. He's got track record. He knows the offense. Starting to look like Sanu could be the slot receiver who replaces Bourne. And I wouldn't expect him to play a ton, but on third down, you're probably going to see him on the field. Not Travis Benjamin, who's hurt. Not Richie James, who's hurt. You know, it's tough, but wide receivers, your opportunity presents itself and you pull your hamstring. Sorry. Guess you weren't prepared when the door opened. So I know it's early, but now those two are falling behind, and Mohamed Sanu is high-stepping still. He's still running through Santa Clara while Jimmie Ward watches faithfully to the instant reaction. Meanwhile, Mohamed Sanu is in Burlingame. So what do we got here? Sanu, that's good. Around the Town Collective. Well, thank you. I appreciate you. That was nice. So Mohamed Sanu, I mean, he's only 31. He's going to be 32. Not ideal for a number 3 receiver, but remember, they still have Juszczyk. They still have Dwelly. They don't really need a number 3 receiver to get like 80 targets. That guy, Juszczyk, Dwelly can all kind of split targets. So good for you, Sanu. All right. JaMycal Hasty. Every year, there are players who come back in year 2 that look way different. Originally, I mean, every year it's like that. But since this regime took over, year 2 was 2018. The guy who came back looking way different was George Kittle. He went from looking like a good tight end, you know, who played hard and was impressive for a 5th-round pick to the most jacked tight end in the league. Like the strongest tight end, the most jacked tight. Like, wow, your body's entirely different. You lifted a lot of weights. You lifted all the weights. Each weight. A lot. This offseason. Good for you. You never really know which 23, 24-year-old NFL athlete is going to go dumb in the weight room that first year in the NFL. Because it seems like you don't get as much time to lift in college, that when you get to the NFL, some guys just become total gym rats and they can dedicate their entire days to getting yoked. And Kittle did that. I mean, look at him. Compare him in college to now. He looks like the Hulk now. Back in college, he looked like the before picture of Captain America. So it was originally Kittle. Then it was Fred Warner. Fred Warner went from being a skinny, slender middle linebacker to the yokedest middle linebacker in the division. Definitely the yokedest. That's the word, yokedest. Now, who is the guy this year? Well, there's 2. Juwan Jennings looks totally different. He's in great shape. And JaMycal Hasty. JaMycal Hasty looks great. Last year, he was making people miss, but he definitely looked like an undrafted free agent, right? He looked little. He looked thin. He did not look yoked. He did not look jacked. He looked neither jacked nor yoked. But this season, he looks much more yoked and jacked. He looks pretty cut up, pretty muscled up for a little dude. Still making people miss. Seems more explosive. Going to be more durable. Everyone's talking about Elijah Mitchell, who looks good. But Mitchell looks like a rookie. Mitchell looked like he could, use a little more Jokic, a little more jackedness. Hasty looks like he's there right now. So don't write off Hasty yet. I want to see what Hasty looks like in a real game because it looks like he's in great shape. He looks like a totally different body type than he had his rookie year. Charlie Warner looks the same from what I can tell. Who else? Who else do they take? Colton McKivitz. I'll have to look harder. Aiyuk looks good, but he's hurt. Kinlaw looks Hasty. Hasty looks bigger. Hasty got he went from this to like that. So that's a good thing in football. Always want this to this in football. So I think don't count out Hasty. Thomas Norton says Dante Pettis, Jerry Rice. Change my mind, Grant. Yeah, I think Dante Pettis would agree with that. I think Dante would agree with that. Word of the day, yoked. Is that a real word? I think it's a real word. I'm pretty sure yoked is in the dictionary. All right, Brandon Aiyuk. Everyone always wrings their hands about Deebo Samuel's injuries because he breaks bones, he pulls hamstrings. No one really talks about Aiyuk, but Aiyuk has the same issue. And his injuries are always non-contact. I mean, he pulled his hamstring in camp last year. Now what do you do? Hold on, what do you do? What do you do? Groin. Now I got a groin. Coming out of college, he had a core muscle surgery like Nick Bosa. Here's something I got to say, now that I think about it, Brandon Aiyuk is a lot like Nick Bosa. They're both super muscled up. They're both the hardest working dudes in the I would bet you the hardest working weightlifters on the team, I mean, other than the linemen, are like Kittle, Bosa, and Aiyuk. Those guys, crazy. The path that Aiyuk took from JUCO to ASU, he didn't make it on natural talent. He wasn't a 5-star recruit. He's been working his ass off in the gym, and you can see that he's yoked. He's big. I'm sure he's put on all the muscle he can possibly pack onto his frame. And then some, I'm sure. And I describe athletes like him and Bosa as race cars in the red. That's what Vincent Vega said in Pulp Fiction. I'm a race car in the red. It's like, yeah, man, you're going 250 miles an hour. You're very impressive. But look at your RPMs, man. You're going like 7,000 a minute. Something's gonna break. There's very little margin for error here. So you're starting to, and of course, it's not a big deal. It's just a groin strain. He's going to be fine, but they add up. Is it always going to be a little strain, a little tweak, a little thing, a little that? That's no good. You need to like actually play and not get hurt. I mean, Jerry Rice wasn't constantly tweaking things and missing games, and maybe you don't need to be that muscled up, Nick Bosa, Brandon Aiyuk. Maybe you can lose 5 pounds. Anyway, I don't know. Maybe that's not the issue with Aiyuk. I do think that's the issue with Bosa. Bosa is way more yoked than Joey. Joey looks normal. Joey looks slender. Nick Bosa looks like the strongest person I've ever seen in my life. The strongest person I've ever seen in my life. Like he would win every Mr. Universe competition of all time ever. Do you need that? Can't you lose 5 pounds? Or put out a little chunk? You know what I'm saying? Just take the RPMs down into the 4s. That's all I'm saying, man. You don't want these things to keep breaking. So Aiyuk, mild groin strain. He'll be back. But the question is, how often is this going to keep going on, Brandon? This part of becoming a pro is learning how to stay on the field. Because you know who doesn't have a mild groin strain right now? You know who doesn't have a mild hamstring right now? A mild anything? Ross Dwelly. Ross freaking Dwelly. He's healthy. He's playing. I don't know. You know who else doesn't? Let me give credit to people who are out there and healthy. Mike McGlinchey. Every rep. Every day. Right tackle. Playing. Healthy. Good for you, Mike. Jimmie Ward. Fred Warner. Dre Greenlaw. Who else? Kittle today. Verrett. Mosley. Kinlaw. Ebukam. Every day. Not hurt. Going through it. Probably not a lot of fun. These are millionaires practicing. Not game. Practice in June. So, Aiyuk, dude. Bosa. Race cars in the red. All right. You know who else is injured? Mostert. Knee. Week 2 of OTAs. Knees bothering him. I don't know where this is going with Mostert. It's starting to look like 2019 was a one-off. I don't know. I was the man pushing him to the forefront of the starting lineup last year. Like, you got to start him. He earned it. Now I'm like, oh, man, that was a bad suggestion. Maybe he should just be a change of pace back. Maybe he should just be the backup. I don't know, man. Seems like he can't even take the starter's workload in practice. Because if you remember, that year in 2019, he started the season, what, 3rd on the depth chart? The starter was Coleman. The backup was who? Breida. Mostert was number 3. He didn't even get many reps in practice. He probably didn't get many reps in preseason. He was chilling, playing special teams. And then he got his opportunity and he was fresh and it all worked out. But now last year, they grinded him in practice all year. And then he wore down. And now he's already wearing down. Raheem Mostert. And Trey Sermon is starting and JaMychal Hasty's backing him up. Mostert, 29 years old, got some knee issues. Maybe you just want to lower expectations and go, you know what? We drafted a running back round 3. He looks good. We're going to start him, and we'll bring you off the bench, Raheem. I don't know, man. Discouraging to hear that it's a knee. Each one, they're like, it's just mild. It's just mild. I don't know. I don't trust the team. It could be mild. We'll see. If he's out there again next week, then great. But Raheem Mostert hurt. Yeah. I think maybe scale him back. I think he's another one of these guys who doesn't really need to be practicing. Why is he practicing? He's 29. That's not young for a running back. He was really good without practice in 2019. He pretty much just runs straight to the sideline behind George Kittle and gains 8 yards a pop because Kittle's that good and Mostert's that fast. I mean, what do you need him to practice, man? Let Sermon practice. Williams isn't practicing. Mack isn't practicing. Yeah, don't practice. People who on the team who should not practice. Mostert, D Ford. Those two. Now, Aiyuk needs to practice. Aiyuk needs to learn how to practice and not get hurt because he's gotten hurt twice. Maybe too much yokage. Maybe he's just too yoked. All right, that's all I got. That's all I got for the day. That was a quick half-hour show. I'm going to catch my breath, get a little dinner, talk to Jesse. We got to plan out a show in hour 15. I might make a little appearance on Twitch. I know I've been slacking on Twitch, but I haven't had a minute. I've been extremely busy, and I'm sorry. But let me see if I can get some stuff done and be on Twitch at like 6:05. Give me 20 minutes. All right, I'll be gone. I'll be back. See you then, 7 o'clock right here. Jesse Naylor, 49ers After Dark. See you then.